Hey friends, welcome back. So if you have been following me recently, you may know that I have actually been doing the work to kind of get my home metal studio set back up. A couple weeks ago, I actually unboxed and talked a little bit about my Vever kiln that I got from eBay. If you haven't watched that yet and you're in the market and looking for a kiln, please go ahead and check that video out. Well, today I'm super excited because my vacuum investing and casting machine came. And I'm a repeat offender, so I went on eBay again and I found this is a less expensive alternative to some of the other machines that are out there. And it also has a little bonus, and it is a 3-in-1. So not only is it a vacuum casting and investment machine, but it also comes with a melting furnace to melt your metals down. So I'm excited about that. Also, spoiler alert, this particular machine does not come with a vacuum pump. So I purchased a vacuum pump on Amazon, so you're gonna get a little bonus there. My goal is to unbox this, show you what comes with it. Then I'm going to open up the vacuum pump, show you that one, and then I'm gonna set them up, and then we're just gonna test the machine. Also, my order from PMC came in, including a flask that I bought that I think should fit in the kiln, and also in this machine right here. So we're gonna test that out. It did come with a couple different gaskets. I don't know why the word gasket escaped me, but we're gonna test that out, just see if all the things I bought work together. So let's open this up and figure it out together. There's goodies on top I think I can get out before we go to the floor. This is what I think it is, guys. Looks like I have a second pair of poorly made gloves. Honestly, these are slightly better than the other gloves that came with the kiln. At least I don't feel like I need to keep counting the fingers on these. Look at this book. Looks like they ripped off the cover. Is this called something else before? Maybe the design changed and had a picture on it. Contents. All right, let's put this aside because I feel like we are definitely gonna need these. So it looks like we have a hose in here. Hose, some sort of, this looks like it has a filter in it, so that's interesting. Some sort of clamps. All right, let's keep going. We have the cord here. We have another set of tongs. They work. All right, now it's time to go to the floor. Looks like we got a smaller box that came in here. Oh, this is the glass kind of bell jar. All right, so they have this looks like it's gonna be two different things in here. The graphite crucible. Hopefully you guys can see that. Graphite, yeah, that's graphite. My hands are filthy. Graphite crucible right here. So this is gonna be where we put in all the metal to melt it. This is messy. I think I'm gonna put this back in here for a minute. Yeah. So I thought this was glass. This is definitely plastic. So I'm gonna have to make sure that whatever bowl I get to suck the bubbles out of the investment fits inside this jar. Let's move this stuff out of the way and get the big boy up on the table. I mean, this appears to be in decent condition. Oh wow, it came with a flask. So that's pretty cool. So it does come with a flask. This one has the little cross beams on the top. I'll bring you guys in closer. Came with a little rubber sprue base. Now the kicker is, I don't know if this is gonna fit in the kiln, which was why I actually purchased a flask. So let's open, take the little sprue base off. Ooh. Yeah, look, I mean, look, even with the sprue base off, there's no way that's gonna fit in here. So I'm actually really glad that I bought one that I hope will fit in here. But the sprue base, maybe I can use for something else. This is supposed to go in there like that. Oh my God, barely. That like barely fits, barely fits. I don't know if, to me, I would still say it doesn't because I don't want to just leave this resting on here. Would like to maybe put some like kiln furniture or something like that in there. I want to give it a little room to let the wax melt. It includes a flask. So maybe if your kiln is a little bit bigger, then you'd be able to use this. Here is the front of the machine. There's an on-off switch. There's a little digital screen there for us. We're gonna check that out once I plug it in and get it turned on. There's the pressure gauge. And then here's the vacuum release. This is the little pointy thing that's telling us where we're pointing to. Oh, you hear a little positive click when you switch it, which is good to hear, so you don't have to, there's no guesswork there at least. Let's get up here to the top. Do not touch hot surface. Yeah, that's a fair warning. So here is where we would put the investment once it's in the bowl, and then once again when it's in the flask to get all the air bubbles out. So it's on springs, like I said, and I guess that's to, I don't know, I guess we'll find out. I guess that's to kind of help it a little bit. So that's where the flask is going to go in when I pour the metals. This is interesting. This is the furnace area over here where the crucible is going to go into. So what's interesting is that when this came, it was kind of bent over to the side, because I remember looking at this and was like, that's kind of interesting that there's like a handle overlap. I don't think it really is going to affect anything, but I just thought it was like a gee whiz. So I don't know if it got bent in shipping or something, but I actually had to kind of bend this over in order to get this to line up properly like a regular lid. So, but there you go. You can kind of see inside. I guess that's going to be maybe the heating element right there. But I read, and I think 48 minutes is what it takes to melt gold, is what I read. So there's a little fun fact for you. There's a little hole at the top, and that's what it's looking like right now. So as we come down back here, this looks like the vacuum pump connector port is what they're saying. So I think that's the hose that they included for us. And so I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to pop open the vacuum pump that I ordered. And then I'm gonna try to attach the two things, and then we're gonna see if this actually works. Before I get it hooked up, I actually just realized, so I'm gonna take this out. So flask, there's that gasket. I realized I didn't show you guys this. So there's this part that it rests on. And then there is a second gasket here, which this is kind of cool because I wonder if maybe I can switch these out and put different size flasks in here. So, all right, there's the whole shebang right there. And we didn't really go around to the sides, but there is really like nothing happening over here, just some vents. And there's the little, I put the little jar on top so you can see. And this is rubber right here, kind of a rubbery feeling. I've been thumbing through these instructions and I don't find them particularly helpful. These instructions that came with this appear to be for like a different machine. This looks like just for the furnace. I don't see any instructions like specifically for the actual vacuum function or for this digital reader. But the reader looks like it's very similar on this furnace machine, so hopefully at least it'll help us with that. And we'll just have to figure out this vacuum thing ourselves. So anything that I purchased or used, I will put a link to it down in the description box below, so you guys can kind of see what the parameters of everything are. I had a little trouble when I was doing research trying to figure out which vacuum pump to purchase. Some people were saying that, oh, you only need 3 CFM, and then some people seemed like they were using a different unit of measurement. I don't know anything about vacuum pumps, so I went with 5 CFMs. All I can do is try and see if it works, right? I like that it came with oil, and I think some of the other ones didn't come with oil, so that was a nice perk. So here is the vacuum pump. This is real greasy. It is covered in oil. I've read some instructions. So this actually says that it is shipped without oil in the reservoir. So before starting the pump, fill it with oil. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. It has a little orange cap at the top. We're gonna add oil until it appears at the middle. So right in the middle of that little glass oval. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna focus camera or not? There we go. All right, there is the minimum and maximum, and there's no oil in there. And then the orange cap they're talking about, this one is clearly marked. Okay, so we pulled the little foil off at the top of the oil. Now we're gonna put that in there. Should have 3D printed a little funnel, guys. So hard to look through the camera and also do things. pour just a little in there. I don't want to overfill it. And you can see where we at over here. Not a dent. All right. Let's get some oil in here. All right, well that took us to the maximum line, so oops. Hopefully that's not too bad, at least we didn't go over it. But I kept checking and I didn't see the line going up, so my bad. I made the mistake so you guys don't have to. Watch me pour the oil in there. Right now I am like right at or kind of just below that max fill line. That was the entire bottle of oil. Hopefully that doesn't constitute as an overfill, because even though I'm not past the max line, I was only supposed to get it kind of right in that middle area is what the instruction said. But for some reason I just kept pouring it in and then it wasn't really registering on the side, and then all of a sudden it was everywhere all at once. So if it makes a mess, I will show you the mess that it makes. I'll maybe get some paper towels ready. So let's look at, actually these instructions, I was gonna call them all non-instruction instructions, but honestly, the ones for the vacuum pump are way better than the ones for this machine. So let's go ahead and see if the hose that they included fits. And if it doesn't, I'm gonna have to figure something out. I also have no idea what on earth this is. They did not tell me. I might actually have to look at the listing again and see if it mentions anything about that. Reddit to the rescue here. What Reddit says I should do is to cut the hose in half, and then I'm going to go port, hose, filter, hose to the vacuum pump. So if I'm wrong and someone was just being mean on Reddit, when has that ever happened? Then I, as punishment, get to go buy a new hose. I have no instructions, so why not give it a shot, right? These seem self-explanatory, maybe just to help clamp down things. So let's give it a shot. Fold it in half and give it a little snip. Oh, don't fail me now, Harbor Freight scissors. Oh wow, what a clean cut that I'm so proud of. Okay, so maybe let me clean these up a little bit. Honestly, this doesn't look much worse than how they cut the ends. Looks like this goes in here. Put this in here. Okay, wow. This almost looks like I have a clue of what's going on. Let's see, and then this goes here. Okay. This looks like what Reddit said to do. Okay. This here. Shimmy on down. And close this. I may need some pliers to do this with. My grippers ain't gripping, so there we go. You can kind of hear that positive clicking. That ain't going nowhere. Someone out there is going to be like, Lauren, what are you doing? This is so wrong. But it feels so right. Let's go ahead and see if we can get it started. All right, I got one little positive click. Nope, and then it popped back out. Let's try it again. This looks like what these are for. That broke. You know what? It feels like it's on there fine. I feel like there's definitely something else better I can use, like some different clamps. It feels like I should be doing this. I know someone right now is yelling at their screen. I hear you. I hear you. It's not gonna work. Let's see if we can attach it to the vacuum pump. I'll bring you guys down here so you can see better. Where does this hose fit? Let's play this game. This is a big fail. This is not gonna fit on this. Hopefully this is the winner, or we have a problem. Okay, so that's not great news. I read someone said, oh, try like hot water or something to get the hose to
loosen up a little bit, but this just plain old looks like that is the wrong size.
I am actually probably gonna run to the store and see if I can get a bigger hose or some kind of adapter or something for that part. Before I go to the store, I'm actually going to show you guys what I ordered at PMC. And then when we come back, hopefully I'll have the pieces I need, and then we will go ahead and test this out and see if it works. PMC Supplies is who I ordered this from. I actually have ordered from them before, and I will tell you, I think they shipped like the next morning after I ordered. And so I love a fast ship. All you people who ship out there and you ship supplies, don't just print out a shipping label and let it sit in a box for 2 weeks. Put it in the mail like these people. Amazing. This Flask, so you might notice this looks a little different from this guy. So this is the one that came with this machine, but you see the size difference, right? This one is actually a little bit wider. This is a 4x4, and when I measured, it should fit perfectly in there. I also got the sprue base for it, the little rubber sprue base. Looks good, that fits on there perfectly. Let's see if this actually fits in the kiln. Very exciting moment. All right, so this is a 4x4 flask. Right there. I think that is gonna be perfect. I think that is just the right size. And then that way, if I wanna put something there to kind of prop it up so it's not touching the bottom and gives a little space to do the burnout, I can do that. So honestly, and I probably, depending on what I rest this on, I could probably have gone up an inch. Maybe I could have done 4x5 if I don't remember what sizes they came in. But I mean, if 4x5 exists, I probably could have done 1 more inch, but I feel like I'm really comfortable with this size. Like I said, I got the little rubber base, so this is what I'm gonna put my little sprue trees on. I got some Sprue Wax. This will go here, and then I'll do my little tree. I have some other wax I ordered. Hopefully will come soon. And I will make my little trees with all my pretty stuff on it. So I got some wax carving tools, and the handles are rubber, good for gripping. And I think these are gonna be perfect, so I'm excited to use these and have a really good variety of tips. So I got a little Borax Flux for casting. So this, I'm just gonna put a little pinch of this when I melt my metals into the graphite crucible. This is self-pickling Flux. So I have never used this before. I've done a lot of fabrication. I have only ever used maybe like Handy Flux, or you know, when you make your own flux with like borax, just in a little cup and paint it on with a brush. But I was really curious and wanted to try this. If any of you guys out there have used this before, I'm definitely interested in any tips and tricks that you have for me. I'm really excited to give this a shot. This is gonna be fun. Hopefully it's a game changer for me. So that is all the stuff that I ordered from PMC. The most important thing that I ordered was really a flask that fits in my size kiln. I'm really excited because I am almost ready to get started. I'm actually gonna clean up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and run to the store. Through the magic of editing, when you see me next, I should have a bag full of goodies to help us test this out. When we come back, I'm gonna make sure that this works. We're gonna go ahead and give it a little test, and then I will give you my final thoughts.
I am back from the store, and I got a couple of things. First up is this. This is the 1/4 inch in-hose repair kit, brass fittings with clamps. So this is great because those little plasticky clamps, let's see if I can focus, those little plasticky clamps that it came with are not the most durable. So what I did is I already went and stuck that into one end of the hose. I think that's a pretty good fit. I could probably smush it down a little bit more, but this is way better. And of course, this is not gonna fit okay with this. So then I also had to get this guy. This is the NPT coupling, and this is 1/4 inch threads. There we go. So here's the moment of truth. Well, actually, I know this one already fits because this, the guy at Lowe's was super nice, and he pulled these out of the package for me, so we know that this fits. And I could probably use some pliers and get this on tighter too, or if I get a little nervous about this fitting on there, I could probably use maybe some Teflon tape or something if I see like pressure dropping and I'm looking for gaps. So moment of truth, let's see. We gave up trying to do that one. And I think this one, this is the 1/2 inch and this one is 1/4. So I'm gonna see if this one fits on here. one problem semi-solved. We are hooked up to the casting chamber, and then we have these hooked together, and this is now in the vacuum pump. So I feel like I'll show you guys what this looks like, and then we're gonna plug it in and try out the vacuum portion. Okay, so here we are, the vacuum pump connection port. We have the hose here with one clamp connected on both sides here of the filter, and then we follow the hose. And then we have our 1/4 inch hose repair kit, and that is tied into the NPT coupling. And we are on the 1/2 inch option here on the pump. So thank you, Reddit. I don't have any instructions for this, but I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is leave it on vacuum release, and then I will turn the vacuum pump on. I'm gonna try it, and we'll just see how it goes. I need everyone out there, all you friendly strangers, if you could please just cross your fingers or do whatever made Tinkerbell fly, that would be super cool. Couldn't help myself. I couldn't wait. I ordered some investment powder, but it is still in the mail. So I wanted to do a quick experiment, again, just to see if this actually worked. And I mixed flour and water in a regular container I got from the grocery store, just in the storage section. Flour and water to like a similar consistency of how the investment powder would be. And I want to turn everything on and just see if I can see some bubbles. And let's just see if this actually works. Oh, I see it. Let's get in a little closer. The only real directions that this kind of came with were for the actual melting furnace. So I have the crucible in here, and one of the things it says to do is to preheat this for 3 to 5 minutes to set the temperature to 300 to 500 degrees Celsius. So I wonder if like the kiln, this is gonna be something that is just gonna have to stay in Celsius. And again, I'm gonna have to do some math and stop measuring everything in freedom units. I obviously am not gonna put metal in there today, but let's see if we could just preheat it. And I really just want to see if this works. Nothing to it but to do it. On button. Let's bring you guys in closer so we can do this as a team. Team, figure it out. Let's go. Let's just push buttons, I guess. Maybe it works like the kiln. This bottom number is the goal and the top number is the actual, I wonder. Let's take it down to what it asked for. It said 300 to 500. Let's start off. Let's put our training wheels on and take it to 300. So let's hit set. All right, let's watch it for a minute. I'm gonna let this run for a few minutes and then we will be right back. All right, you know me, I literally just cannot help myself. I put a glove on and I pulled this out, 37 degrees. I figured out how to get this in Celsius. So let's see if it's actually accurate. So down here, it is measuring about 37, about 38 in there. Okay, so close enough. I mean, this is like a cheap thing from Harbor Freight, so maybe it's not the most accurate, and obviously me opening it doesn't help. So that's a good sign. I'm gonna have to figure out why that is still going up. Looks like this button here just changes which number you're editing. So like, let's say, so I hit that button because I want to change this. So it looks like I can, which number, let's see, do I want to go to 400 degrees? So looks like that's just a shortcut to get your temperature up. So I'm gonna keep learning and I'm gonna keep practicing with this, and I will give you guys more thoughts the next time I actually use this. All right guys, so I have a real order I'm waiting on, and after that my next step should be to do a full cast.
before I go, I do want to talk a little bit about why I bought this machine, because you might look at this and go like, why didn't you just buy something else that had a vacuum pump included? Well, I really looked at the Kayak Cast. I know a lot of people use that machine and it's a little expensive. I think regular price, it might be something like $1,800, and I think I saw it on sale for $13 the last time I looked. And that one was just basically these two chambers, right? It didn't include the melting furnace. And so I still would have had to buy that separately, even if I spent the $1,300. And I looked online and it seemed like there were people that had these kind of less expensive combination machines and were overall decently happy with them and had held up somewhat. So I thought it would take a little bit of a risk. This machine by itself, not including the vacuum pump, I was all in, including tax and shipping, for about $430. So that's pretty good for if you want to just do, I think, like a budget start. Right now, I think for my purpose and just getting back in the hang of things, it's going to be perfect. So about $430 for this. And then the vacuum pump that I purchased was less than $100. I want to say it was in that $80 range. I chose this one because it was 5 CFM. I don't know a ton, but it seemed like that might be sufficient in order to have the right amount of suction for these. I could be wrong. I will find out if I'm wrong. And then maybe I might have to get a different vacuum pump. So I'm definitely in for a lot less money. And even when I had to go to the hardware store and go pick up some other pieces, I spent about $12 in the different fittings to get these hoses to fit with the vacuum pump correctly. So I still am not at $1,300. Right now, I'm not regretting my choice to go with the less expensive option. And between this and the kiln that I bought, I still have not hit the $1,300. So overall, I think this is gonna be good enough for me. It doesn't seem chintzy, it seems decently sturdy. I won't know if it's really amazing or not until I actually go through the full casting process. And then I'll have a really full opinion of both the kiln and this machine. So stay tuned for that. All in all, I think I'm happy with my purchase. I think it seems pretty sturdy. I think it's gonna be easy to use, which is something I was really interested in. I'm really excited. I'm excited to get casting. So I have a lot of ideas in my head that I would like to make into things. And I'm also excited to share that with you guys. So the next time you guys are here with me in front of all this beautiful machinery, I'm gonna try to go through and just do the full casting process. That is my plan. I'm kind of waiting on some mail right now. So that's gonna be it for me today. I hope that you guys got some value out of this. As always, whenever you like and subscribe, it gives me the warm fuzzies and makes me happy. I will see you guys in the next one. Go forth, be kind, be creative.